Ivan Katz here. I'm going to record a song on the Boss BR800 and show you how to mix and master it and lay it off to your computer too. Let's get started. Okay, this is the Boss BR800. I am going to go ahead and turn it on right here on the side. And what we're going to do is record a new song. It's very, very easy. So you just go down to the last song I was recording here was called SC Mustang. That's because that's one of the guitars I used to record it, original song. But anyway, right down here you see Easy Record. And I'm going to hit that. And it wants to know if I want to record a new song or current song. And I do want to record a new song. So rather than scrolling through this way, I'm just going to go ahead and press enter. And it will set me up to record a new song. And it's going to say, do you want electric guitar and rock, or do you want acoustic guitar, or acoustic guitar with a mic, a bass, a vocal mic. Has two built-in vocal mics, left and right, which are actually pretty good. You can record with these mics, and using the mastering, it sounds pretty good, and there's very little noise and that sort of thing. So it's surprisingly good. But going down to vocal mic in, and that's input 4 here. As you see, it says in 4, so I have a mic there ready to go at all times to record my vocals. And then notice it says rock over here. You can adjust the inputs and sound and that sort of thing by choosing, if you go over to rock there, just many different sounds that you might want. These are preset in there with sounds, so they sound pretty good actually. But let's get back over here to this side so we can choose our input, which is going to be line in right here. As you can see, I have my computer set up, and I'm going to be doing a cover. So I want to go ahead and record the song as a reference. So I keep scrolling down, and I get to line in. See? Line in right here. And I know from experience that when I press enter, it's going to say, okay, what do you want? What's the effect? CM big EQ. And I'm actually going to scroll over to small EQ, because that basically limits the input. And I know that with my input level here, this will keep me in good range with small EQ. So I go ahead and I press enter, and it says keep power on, song creating. So now I have my song, which is currently known as song 0034. So I'm going to come over here to menu, press menu, and it's going to give me input select, song, and I'm going to scroll down to song and press enter, and then it's going to say new, select, or name, and I'm going to name it. Okay? So when you go into name, you see all these letters and that sort of thing, and you can use the wheel here, but I know that S is fine, and I'm just going to call it Sweet. Okay? Because the song that I'm going to record is Sweet Jane by Lou Reed and the Velvet Underground. I'm a big fan, as you see. But actually, I'm going to do the Cowboy Junkies version. So I'm scrolling through to get through the T here. There we go. The song is called Sweet J. So I'm going to go ahead and record it now. Notice it has armed input 1 and 2 for my line in. I don't want 1 and 2 for this. When you go to either 5 and 6 or 7 and 8, they're stereo inputs. So I'm going to go ahead and record on 7 by pressing record over there in 7. See, no longer 1 and 2, it's armed to 7. And it will be 7 track 1. You have many virtual tracks. Over here on 1, you can choose all of these tracks. You have virtual tracks. You'll see that we're recording on 7/8 track 1 actually now when I get out of this mode. But I just wanted to show you that's how you get into your virtual tracks, your delay, your reverb, your edit, your pan, and so that's how it works. It's really intuitive once you get to know it. quite easy to use. I really like this Boss BR800 because you're basically recording in an analog style, but it is digital. And you can throw these tracks into one of your computer editing softwares, whatever you want to use later if you like to. So it really is cool. But I like to record old school like this, and so there you go. Now I'm going to record the song. I can see through the levels that I have input. I'm not playing that song because I don't want any copyright issues here on my video, but right here you can see I can adjust the levels on the level input, and too low coming up here, and I'd say that's about good right there. And I'm going to start recording. I just press record and play at the same time. It's armed right now and ready, so I just press play and it will be recording. So in about 3.5 minutes we will have our reference track to record to. Now if I was recording just a normal song that I'm writing or something, you have a rhythm track right here, and you can choose your rhythm, and you have infinite ways to basically program a drum machine in here. It's really, really good actually. Once you learn how to use it, you can tell it where you want to fill or a bridge or something like that, change the parts, and you select your measure right here and your time and all that sort of thing. Time is right here, beats per minute, so you can be fully in sync, and you can be in sync with nonlinear editors on your computer. So it's just, they've really thought of everything in this little 8-track multi-tracker that records to an SD card. So it's just, for me, it is just really, really an incredible way to record. Now it's time to record, and I'm going to record my guitar here first. This is a 60s Fender Mustang modified and sort of combined with the controls of a Jazzmaster. So pretty cool custom guitar. I figured I'd use it here in this video. If you'd like to see more of my Fender Mustang collection, I have a video on the Fender Mustang elsewhere on YouTube. So we again select Easy Record, and we choose Current Song, and it's asking us what our input is. It's online because of what we recorded before. Now we're going to go with Electric Guitar, and this is when we can go ahead and choose our setting here. So I think I'll go with sort of a jazz actually. So let's see, jazzy, and we'll start with that. I'm not even going to listen yet because I got to tune the guitar. Now, how do you tune the guitar? You go into Menu and scroll down and enter into Tuner, and then you have a tuner. Okay, so I've got my jazzy sound coming through my Fender Mustang. I like it, but you can go in and tweak it. When you press this effects here, then it actually opens it up, and you can press enter, and then you have compression, you have wah, you have distortion, you have the amp, and so you can go into the amp itself. It's a Boss Clean, it says, and you can adjust the gain, the middle, the treble. So I'll just bring up the treble a little bit, and maybe a presence. Let's see how far that goes. So the presence goes all the way up to 100. Let's try it at like 56. See what it sounds like. Okay, starting to record now, and I have to time the start, and that's about the most difficult part, according to track 1. Now I'm going to record a second guitar track. Now when you're armed and ready to record, you can record like here on track 1, or if I want to record on track 2, you just select track 2 with the same settings. So guitar in that jazzy sort of sound, I went ahead and recorded 3 sounds, so 1, 2, and 3. A little bit of just kind of interesting lead here that I added, and basic guitar, and then another rhythm guitar as well with a slightly different sound. And then here is the backing track. So then I'll go ahead and record the vocal here, and then I'll record the bass here, and for the drums I'll go ahead and switch using the virtual track so I can monitor, but I'll go ahead and record the drums probably also on 5/6 but on a separate virtual track, and then I'll ping pong it over to this one so that I'll still have my main reference song here if I want it, or I'll have my drum track here. So you've got a lot of versatility, even though there's 8 tracks, really just 6 so to speak, because these are 2 channels each. With ping ponging, you really have, you know, easily a 48 track board or something like that. I mean, it's really expansive what you can do, and then once you record, you can go ahead and ping pong stuff off in stereo and just keep them on 5 and 6 and then just keep going and that sort of thing. So it's endless, the ping ponging you can do with this, with the virtual tracks and the effects and the rhythm. They really have thought of everything. Okay, now I'm going to record the bass. So I go to Easy Record, Current Song, and bass with an input there, and let's stay with jazz, why not? And 60s R&B, I use that a lot. Let's hear how the scoop style sounds. Okay, this is my 1971 Gibson EB3 bass, and I think it's pretty perfect for this song. Let's hear how it sounds. Sure. Okay, I just recorded the bass on 4. Let's see what we have. Guitar on 1, 2, and 3, and bass on 4. 2 only comes in sometimes. No real mixing yet, no effects, no panning. This is just straight recorded. Okay, now I'm going to record some drums here with my Roland drum set. And basically just a line in, so it's the same as when we recorded the reference song. So we just go to Easy Record, Current Song, Enter, and then all the way down here to Line In again. Press Enter, and again we go small EQ. And I will get a level on that by hitting the cymbal. Okay, here we go. Too loud. Let's bring it down a bit. Shoot it just a hair higher. And there we go. There's our level. Okay, now that I've got basically all the instruments recorded, I'm going to go ahead and record the vocal. Now I'm going to do that on tracks 5 and 6 where the drums are. So basically I'm going to go into the unit and use a virtual track. So I'm going to go to track and go down here to V track, virtual. Alright, and I select that. And then track 5, this is where I have the drums. So if I go down to track 2 and then escape out of it, well, there you go. There's nothing on track 5 now. Track 5, track 1 there is, but track 5, track 2, there's nothing there. So I'm going to record the vocals here now, and then I'll be able to ping pong the drums to 7 and 8, and then keep everything else like that, and then I'll go ahead and show you how to mix and master everything. Okay, so for vocals, I go easy record, and then current song, and I'm already on vocal, input 4, so I press enter, and I'll go for a pop sound there, enter. Okay, so I'm ready to record my vocals now through my input 4 here in the back, XLR cable, and this microphone. So here we go. Vocals. And of course for vocals you have to wear headphones to avoid the feedback with the speakers and things like that. Anyone has ever been lonely, and anyone has ever split apart. Okay, no effects, totally raw and unmixed, but here we go. Now I'm going to go ahead and ping pong the drums to track 7, which is our reference right now, but I'm going to change it to drums. So we'll have everything right here where we need it and start mixing. So we press the track button and we go to virtual track, okay? And you can see on 5, there's 2 things recorded. The first thing are the drums, and the second thing, now we're at the third, so that's my vocal, that's my drums. So track 5 and 6, 1, we want to go to track 7 and 8 too. And the way you do that is you escape out of track and you press track edit, okay? Now we want to copy tracks 5 and 6, 1 down to track 7 and 8, 2, okay? Making sure we're not going to record over anything. And we're not, because track 7 and 8, 1 is our reference. Track 7 and 8, V2, virtual track 2, is going to be our drums when we press enter, okay? 5 and 6, it's moving the drums to 7 and 8, 2, okay? So we come over here, and we press enter, and that is what will happen. Are you sure? Yes. Okay. And there we go. We escape out of this, and then we go up to virtual tracks, and then we come over to track 7 and 8, skip to 7, and I bet what we'll be hearing here when we go to track 7, I'm only going to play track 7 and 8, and I bet when we go to the middle of the song here, we're just going to hear some drums. Okay, so to recap, we have track 1, guitar. Track 2, a little bit of guitar too. Also, I can use that for any fixes I want to do and things like that, since there's only a little bit of guitar on that one. But that one's guitar, main guitar. The third one is really a secondary rhythm guitar to get a nice spread and a little bit of different sound going there. And track 2, like I said, is a little bit of just some accent guitar. And then we have 4, which is bass, 5 and 6 is the vocals, 7 and 8 is the drums. So let's get started mixing. Okay, I like to start with drums and bass, which is 7 and 8 and 4, and I'll go into menu, and I'll go and scroll down to mastering. There we go, mastering, and I'll press enter. And you got to scroll here to turn mastering on. Okay, mastering is on, and then 7 and 8 lights up. Well, what does that mean? Well, after I press enter, or actually I just escape out of it, and then it says mastering. So that means when I press the record button now, it's going to record to track 7 and 8 all the way up on the last track. So instead of being 1 or 2, it's on the last track. I can't remember if it's like a virtual track 7 or 8 or 9 or something like that, but it's on that last track there, and that's where it puts it. It's a stereo mix. So anything that you mix and then play back and press record, it will master it to track 7 and 8. And There you go. It's really, really nice. And then you have some master effects, which you can turn on mastering, and that's noise reduction, compression, and things like that, which have automatic settings. But first I'm going to get a general mix and put on some effects and also do my panning. So let's start with that. Okay, let's listen to the drums. Drums and the bass together there. I think they sound good. So now I'll add in some guitar, and I'll start with one guitar. Now I'll bring in the other guitar. Now, since it sounds muddy, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and separate some of these tracks with some panning. So I'm on pan now, and I press enter, and I know that track 1 is that main guitar there. So I'm going to pan that pretty much in between top center and far left, or medium left. So it's going to be basically on the spectrum, it's going to be over here, okay, in between these two speakers. And now I'll come over to track 2, and that's where I have some other things going on. So I'll go ahead and put that way over here, because, well, actually, you know, I'm going to keep that kind of towards the center. A little off center, but kind of towards the center. And now the other guitar I'm going to put on the other side. So that guitar is going to be over here on the spectrum basically, and then over here will be the other guitar, and I'll put the vocal slightly off center to the right. So I'll come over here to 5 and 6 and just put it ever so slightly to the right, the vocals. Now I'm also going to come back out here and add some reverb. I think I want to have maximum reverb on the vocals, so I'm going to turn that all the way up. Okay, so 100% reverb on my vocal there, and come back down here and see what else I might want some reverb on. Do I want some reverb on the bass? Sure, why not? Let's have some reverb on the bass. And also on all the guitars too. I think it will sound sweet. So all the guitars, lots of reverb, except the accent one. I'll keep it off there. So let's hear how it sounds now. Sweet Jane, sweet, sweet Jane. Okay, there you have it. Now, when we press the master button right here, it brings up several modes for us. And that's the mix down mode. And there's a pre-master. These are all presets. You can go in and adjust things, but they actually do a pretty good job. Let me show you the hard compression here, okay? Sweet Jane. Okay, so there you have it. You can go ahead and go into master. Heavenly wine and roses seem to whisper to me when you smile. Heavenly wine and roses seem to whisper to me when you smile. think the hard compression might be best for this one.
Sweet, sweet Jane.
So there you go. Once you set your compression, your master effects, you should remix, and then I'll go ahead and lay it off to a master for you. Now there's more ways to master as well. You can go ahead into track mode here, and you can go into EQ, and you can EQ every single track. Let's just go into this one, number 4, and you have all these ways to go ahead and EQ the sound: high gain, low gain, medium, mid. You know, it's really intuitive, easy to use, and you can pretty much do anything to each track individually or the mix as well in master. So you've just got a lot of options here. I really do love this Boss Roland also, which means you get all these great guitar effects too. I have this cool Roland amp here, which is basically a jazz chorus, and it's also electronic, so all those great sounds like the Roland Jazz chorus and things like that. Boss is also related to Roland, so you get all those great sounds, and this is just a complete and total setup. Just totally love it. Okay, so I'm at 3 minutes and 49 seconds in the song, so I just go here and press 0, and now I'm back to 0. And I've got everything really set the way I want it. I'm going to ride this fader and the vocal a little bit while I'm laying it back, doing my master. And again, that's going to tracks 7 and 8, virtual track 8, I think it is. So when I press record, then I'm ready to go. And it's actually laying back, mastering to tracks 7, 8, number 8. Okay, so there you go. The master's done. You stop it, and what I do is I, of course, wait for it to, it'll preview it for you, but I go ahead and exit out of that, and then I shut it down, and I'll go ahead and cover it up too. I like to keep all the dust off of it, but I'll go here and take out the SD card so I can transfer it to the computer. I'll show you that right now too. Okay, you see this BRWC? I'll double click on that, and then it opens this up. So I go into the songs here, and every song, this is a cover of This Charming Man by the Smiths I did, and I've got some originals in here, just a whole bunch of songs. Last is Sweet Jane. So here are all my tracks, and what you do is you can export or import them. They have to be in 44:1 wave format, so there you go. But what I do is I select my master, and then I press export. I've already put the SD card back, and now I've got my master here.
Has ever had a heart.
Well, thanks for watching this tutorial on how to record on the Boss BR800. Don't forget to check out all my other music videos, my literal video for Chris Isaac's Wicked Game. I have a funny COVID-19 song out there too. Many originals and many covers on YouTube. Check out my What Would I Say video, and also my Free Your Mind videos. And if you like cars, Google Drivin Ivan and any car, and of course check out my disc golf videos as well. Thanks for watching. I'm Ivan Katz.
Anyone has ever had a heart, wouldn't turn around and break it. Anyone has ever played a part, wouldn't turn around and hate it. sitting down on the corner, thinking of ways to get back home. Sweet Jane, sweet Jane, oh, sweet, sweet Jane. Anyone who's ever had a dream, anyone who's ever played a part, anyone who's ever been lonely, and anyone who's ever split apart. Sweet Jane, sweet Jane, oh, sweet, sweet Jane. Heavenly wine and roses seem to whisper to me when you smile. Heavenly wine and roses seem to whisper to me when you smile. La 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 Sweet Jane, sweet, sweet Jane.